talking. Hey YouTube, this is Jaden coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and I have my friend Zach here, and he's going to be showing you his updated Revenger deck PostSet12. I'm not sure how much different it is than mine, but I thought getting another perspective on the deck is never a bad option. So Zach, why don't you tell us a little bit about your Revenger deck? Are you liking it?
I'm liking it. There's some parts of it, though, that I think could be better. There's only one choice I'm thinking about changing, and you'll see that when I get to it. But,
for someone who's been playing card games, at least I know for a long time, how does it feel to be playing the top deck in the game?
Oh, it feels so good.
Because I know me and you both played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know you never played the top deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever.
I played budget decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! That sometimes made it up there. Like when the Gravekeepers got the Merrick starter deck support.
Yeah.
It did good. And the Hyperion starter deck I really liked.
Well, point being, you know, you've never really played the #1 deck in any game before, and I get this right now. It is the best deck out there by far.
Yeah.
Simply for the fact that Raging Form in the late game is punishing.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, why don't you show it to us?
Okay. Screaming Dark Goat, it came in the mail. Finally.
Talk about how much consistency this adds to the deck.
This really, it makes it to where if you do not have a grade 3, you'll grab it. If you need another copy of Raging Form, you'll grab it. If you just want a break ride on top of your break ride with another Mordred, odds are you're gonna grab it. So it adds like a little surprise too.
Yeah, and also considering the card's $15.
Yeah, well now it is. And then lineup, 8 crit. 4 draw, 4 heal, and I did check ahead on set 15 when they get more support. There is not another draw trigger.
Honestly, I don't think it needs it.
Yeah, this deck's power is that it is scary with 8 critical triggers. I've been playing people where they go, it's late game, they go 1 to pass, critical trigger, haha, eat it.
Well, Shadow Paladins thrive on power, and just having the 8 crits in there, it messes with your opponent's head a little bit.
So, because if I'm playing a deck with a lot of stands, and then there's a deck versus a lot of criticals, I'm more scared of a deck with more criticals in it.
Yeah.
I got my 10k attacker, and then my favorite grade 1 is Dornant.
This card's arguably the MVP of everything except Raging Form.
Yeah. Pretty much. And then there's the MVP for Raging Form. The 11k booster for Raging Form.
I'm sorry, his name just cracks me up. You have Raging Form Dragon, and he's boosted by Dylan.
Yeah. Malice Revenger Dylan. So there's a little bit of malice in there. And then 4 of the new Perfect cards.
I think it's my favorite 2nd gen Perfect.
Oh, it is. He just looks like I am blocking anything. Oh.
And the gold blades.
Yeah. Grade 2s. We got Blaster Dark, my favorite. I love it.
The psychedelic
foil. I saw the Japanese foil of it too, and I'm like, we got the better end of the deal.
Yeah, we got the better end.
It's like, oh.
There's even some Japanese people who are mad at the foil we got.
You mad, bro? 3 tarts, and I did not think I would like her as much as Matcha, but I love her more than Matcha.
It's because that extra 1,000, she can hit 16, and it's a magic number against a 11k Vanguard.
Now, the only drawback is it's in the same column.
Yeah.
So I can't go ride, and then I'll call that, but that's a grade 1 for just argument's sake. You can't do that. It's got to be like right behind it.
Well, 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna go grab that Dornant,
right,
to set up for your late game push.
But I'm also looking at some of the stuff in 15. There's something that is literally a clone of Matcha. It's an 8k like Matcha, but it's only a Counterblast 1, and it's in the same column. So I wonder how that would work, but I'm just curious. I'm always a big fan of looking ahead.
Yeah.
Because that's how I budget my decks, is that I plan ahead, decide what I want to build, and go from there. And then 4 Masquerade, the 12k.
The art is awesome.
Oh, the art is awesome. It's not shiny anymore, but...
But you know what? I love the artwork.
Yeah. Now, in a minute, I'll show you what my tech change probably would be. I'll get to that in a minute. And then
grade 3s. This shouldn't be
Grade
much
3s,
of a surprise.
Yeah. For Mordred, he's my favorite break right now, just because A, he's like an evil against a lot, and 2, it's a solid break ride.
It really is, because you can fill 2 columns with him. You're going to superior call a unit out of the deck while it gains 5k, and you're going to apply pressure with, obviously, the boss of their deck, which is Raging Form Dragon.
Which, this guy...
Raging Form and him go so well together because...
Oh, I know.
There's a nice little combo you can do where if you want, you can use... If you haven't been able to get much into the field in the early game, you can go Break Ride Raging Form, Counterblast 1, Superior Call Matcha, and then Counterblast 2, and for 3 Counterblast you get to fill a nice column.
Yep.
It's this, the Break Ride for this deck works so well because it gives you more... It gives you more options.
Yeah, it just... And, like, even if I played a game where it was, like, Break Ride, Break Ride, Break Ride again, that's back-to-back turn, just carnage on your opponent.
And plus, in the late game, Raging Form's strength is your opponent either A, guarding the attack and hoping you don't pull a Raging Form, or taking it and hoping you don't pull a Raging Form. Yeah. So there's really not much of a... That's why Raging Form is... I did a video, and you guys go check it out, where I talked about the top 5 decks of the format. Raging Form simply for the ability to apply mind games to your opponent, and then basically coming down to hoping that you don't pull it, makes him the best version. Let alone with a Break Ride and his ability, you can attack twice at over 20,000 power, and you don't lose hand advantage. You're just losing field, which you'll obviously regenerate in the following turn, and you are adding 4 cards to your hand at least.
Right.
So
now, my only tech changes I've been thinking about is to my grade 2 lineup, and that is this deck really counterblasts a shit ton. And sometimes late game, I've literally lost a game because if I was able to counterblast for Raging Form's effect, I would have been able to get through their guard.
Wait, that was actually against me.
Yeah, I think it was.
That was me Monday. Monday we went to our locals and we played, and in the finals we were in game 3, and he wasn't able to use Blaster Dark's ability to kill off my Tart that was my intercept. But it really wouldn't have mattered because then the following, I had to take 1 damage, and I was at 4 to go to 5, and I healed to go to 4, and then my next turn I healed again to go back to 3.
Yeah, it was stupid.
But it's still it would have been a better option because then I would have gone to 5, and then I would have had to take the 6 damage, and I still would have healed, but it would have been the better play.
Right. Like, I'm debating on taking out 1 Tart and 1 Blaster Dark for a Cursed Lancer.
So a pair of Lancers.
Right. So that way, if I hit the Vanguard, I can unflip something.
Well, the only thing you'd have to remember is you couldn't sacrifice Cursed Lancer with Raging Form because Raging Form calls for Revengers only.
Right, which sucks, but...
Well, considering the fact that Raging Form costs no counterblasts, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah, but it's also for late game if I want to get a Tart off or a Blaster Dark, or even just get an extra boost for Blaster Dark, or not Blaster Dark, Raging Form, it would help.
Yeah, and see, the nice thing about this deck also, guys, I'm going to be making a video because I got 5 thumbs up on my video about quit whining about Link Joker. The nice thing about this deck is your opponent has to continually have at least 3 of your rear guards locked, because as long as you have 3 rear guards, that still makes Raging Form live. So this deck is actually a pretty bad matchup for the Link Joker because they have to expend more resources to keep 3 units locked at all times. Even if your only 2 attacks that turn are Raging Form. So.
Well, my only counter Link Joker, I think of it this way. I only keep half my columns full, which is like I'll have that there, just pretend that's another booster, and then I'll have this here. And until they start locking shit, that's all I'll have.
Yeah.
Because say if they lock that, okay, well, boom, boom, swing, swing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you'll have to change that up a little bit when Chaos Breaker comes out.
Right, but for now, with Nebula just being the main Link Joker heavy hitter,
Well, guys, so this has been, let me see, this has been Zach's Revenger deck. Yay. So in the comment section below, feel free to share your thoughts on his build. I'm pretty sure it's actually verbatim to mine. And that,
really?
I think so.
Oh, goddamn.
Well, the fact is that there's really only one good solid way to build a deck, and we both figured it out. Because the deck...
Well, I tried playtesting 3 Dorant, 3 Dylan, but I would be drawing into Dylan when I need a Dorant, and I was like...
Yeah, you have to play 4 Dorant in this deck. There's just no way around it. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up to the channel, and see y'all later.
Badass!